Hello, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, your manga maven and creator of Ninja High School, Marvel Mangaverse, Warrior Nun on Netflix, and created the comic book publishing empire known as Antarctic Press. And I just came out and saw Godzilla minus one, and here are some of my honest thoughts about it. Now, first, let me say that I am truly a Godzilla fan. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm a big Godzilla fan, big Godzilla fan." Yeah, sure you were. I bet you were. I remember my first Godzilla movie was Godzilla versus Megalon. I saw that in the theaters when I was a little kid, and I instantly fell in love with the big giant monster. So, what are my thoughts of Godzilla minus one? Well, aside from the weird title, minus one, I don't know what that exactly means. It was okay. Wasn't great. A lot of people are saying that, oh, it's great. It's the best Godzilla film either. I guess it depends on what you think is Godzilla. Aside from the 1954 Godzilla movie, which is a classic, though it's kind of dark. I watched it recently, and it seems very dark. I think someone needs to go back there, maybe do some computer magic and try to lighten it up a little bit so you can see a lot more detail and things like that. Hey, Toho, maybe you should go ahead and do it like a nice, re-enhancement or something like that. Which actually this movie sort of is. It's sort of like a soft reboot, so to speak. For those who are not familiar, Godzilla, to me, has always been sort of the big giant rubber monster guy. Everyone says that because they feel like that somehow brings it down. But there is a certain art about it that really does make it stand out. It makes it seem like something that's handcrafted almost, so to speak. Where thousands, hundreds of, or maybe I don't know, hundreds, maybe I don't know, hundreds of crafts artisans are creating the world of Godzilla, building all these buildings and suits and things like that. That takes a lot of time and effort. So, what did I think about this movie? Well, overall, I'm not gonna do any spoilers. Okay, I'm just gonna give you my impressions of the movie. So basically, it is, like I said, a soft reboot of the movie. It basically goes over the same story that the 1954 Godzilla is. Now, the difference is there's a lot of melodrama in this movie. A lot of, focus on a character and his guilt about, what he did during the war, World War II specifically, and how he was somehow, racked by it. And then after he comes home, having survived the war when he wasn't supposed to, he, encounters the love interest and a little girl, that becomes, the focus of his life after that. I looked at that. I thought it was kind of an outlier, so to speak, with Godzilla. If you actually took out the Godzilla element of it, it would actually been sort of like a melodrama of some sort of instead of a type of thing where he deals with his guilt and trying to foster a relationship with these two people. And I have to say the acting is a little bit over the top, but I think that's typical of Japanese acting. They tend to be more emotional, and when with their acting, they're either really stoic or quiet or loud and boisterous. So it's like there's like extremes for some reason. The special effects were okay, not bad for Japanese Toho film. Obviously they're learning a lot of lessons from the American version. They're probably seeing the legendary version of Godzilla and says, "Oh crap, we need to up our game. We need to do stuff like that in order to, get with it, but so to speak." The story itself was pretty good. It had, I noticed, a sort of a subtext of anti-government type of story. I mean, the government was pretty useless. And it did seem like all they did was hem and haw and, basically, yeah, you're on your own, do it yourself. We can't do much. I mean, you would think the United States and the Soviet Union would team up together, not be antagonistic. With some big giant monster creature running around with atomic breath that can, level an entire city. Would be something that would be of concern that they would team up and with the Japanese and say, hey, we need to get rid of this guy. This thing's too powerful. So I think they wrote that story element in there to keep the budget low, because, it can get pretty costly if you start adding, the United States Navy or the Soviet Navy and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I get it. I get it. I know, Toho. This movie apparently was made only for like $15 million, which is like, barely the catering budget for most Hollywood productions these days. So, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But it seemed interesting that it made the message that private citizens need to, take care of shit on their own, It was kind of cool to see a Shinden. I don't know if I'm giving away too much, but there was a experimental Japanese fighter airplane that was created during the war, which I always thought was kind of a cool design because I'm a bit of a aviation nut myself, and I saw that I think this might be the first time they've actually used it in a movie. And it was kind of cool. I really enjoyed it. And I mean, overall, it was above average Godzilla movie. The only thing I really thought was kind of, I really didn't care much for was the overpowering of Godzilla's atomic breath. Before in the 54 Godzilla, it was very localized, very very low power, so to speak. This one they made it way, way too powerful. I mean, I know that Godzilla's breath is, something to be feared, but now it's like, oh, just atomic bomb level, I mean, give me a break. I mean, holy crap. That just makes it way too powerful, in my opinion. Second is the constant healing factor. I mean, what is he, Wolverine now? I mean, I understand, oh, no, he's immortal. He's the immortal Godzilla now. He can, come back anytime. Nothing can kill him. So it sort of takes out that element of, victory and, takes that element of danger, so to speak. But because, hey, Godzilla just keep coming back, over and over again. So I mean, I can understand that. I mean, got to make those sequels, and let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was okay. Another thing is that it just didn't. There wasn't really much. Wasn't fun. Usually I really don't expect I expect Godzilla to be sort of fun. Have some sort of levity to it. After all, it is a giant monster movie. You want to have a little bit of, that kind of, sort of nice level of being able to have some, it was just way too serious. I can understand they wanted to treat the source material serious. After all, he is a giant monster with the allegory of the atomic bomb and such like that. They want to teach it serious. Can you imagine making a giant monster about the Holocaust or something like that? I mean, yeah, you'd have to treat it pretty seriously, But, hey, after 30 some odd movies of Godzilla, it is, and a lot of them being just like kids' movies, it just seemed a little out of place for me, I can understand they wanted to treat it seriously. We want Godzilla to be treated seriously, but I think one of the reasons that there's such a big generation of Godzilla fans is because, kids grew up with Godzilla. And when you abandon the kid market, I think you, sort of abandon the franchise. But, Godzilla is a fixture in Toho's arsenal. You know, the Japanese love Godzilla, and I think will continue to love Godzilla. You know, so it will be something that will continue on. You know, but anyway, those are my thoughts. Out of what, 10? 10 being the best, I would probably rate this one about maybe 7.5. You know, so it's. I would definitely encourage you to go see it though, if you are any type of Godzilla fan. You know, and it would, you know, if nothing else, you should try to support, you know, independent films like this and see if we can. I don't know if Toho actually qualifies for an independent film, but you know, it because they are pretty big corporation. But anyway, I do highly recommend it. Somewhat if you, like I said, a Godzilla fan. So until next time, this has been done. Signing off.